This is Got Kush TV. We're here at the Stratford Picture House representing the New Black Film Collective. We're here with a man named Quincy. I think he's the host here tonight, if I'm correct.
Yes, I am, and doing the panel show as well. So warming up the crowd before the film starts and hosting the panel show. Right,
okay. Now, we just want to find out, you've come down here today, you're going to do the business and everything. What we want to find out today, the film's called Dear White People. Okay, I don't know if you've seen it before, or if it's going to be the first time. But I'd just like to know, if you had to pen a letter, Dear White People, what would you say?
I will probably say, Dear White People, how much money do you owe us?
Basically, give it all back.
I would say all of it, but give us something. Okay.
Corned beef and rice for dinner. Never thought I'd see the day I'd be a winner. Coming home from work just to...
This is Got Kush TV. You're here with the Minister. We're over in East London at the Stratford Picture House. We're here for the screening of Dear White People. As you can see, it's totally sold out. This movie has been brought to us by way of the New Black Film Collective. Okay, they're a new body who are showing black and ethnic films for people to watch. Now, Got Kush TV are covering this simply because this is what Got Kush TV do. Anything to do with Nubian Mennonites, anything to do which is conscious, anything to do with black people, which is uplifting for us as a people. We're here, we're required. This is what we do. If you haven't got Kush, you haven't got nothing. That's what we say. But as I said, we're here covering Dear White People. What we're going to be doing today, we're going to be speaking to people before they go in to find out exactly what brought them down there. And I'm going to ask a question. I'm going to ask people simply this. If you was penning the words, Dear White People, what would come next? Let's see what kind of reactions we get. Also, we're going to be speaking to people after the movie to find out exactly what they thought about the movie. We've got a young man here who just come to watch the film and kindly given us a moment of his time. What brought you down here, sir?
The actual film, I saw it on my friend's Facebook page, so yeah.
And just very quickly, yeah, I'm going to catch people after to get feedback of how you enjoyed the film, but just quickly, if you had the letter Dear White People and you was penning that letter, what would be the words after?
That's a good question. Let me think. Stop pretending.
Stop pretending. So that's dealing with maybe a bit of culture theft which is going on.
Definitely, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this is Got Kush TV. We're here representing. We're going to be using this as a platform to highlight the best of black television, all conscious stuff, all stuff which is positive and uplifting for young people, old people, and all kind of genres. So you know, do check out what we're going to be doing. Some more people coming to watch the film Dear White People. Just in a nutshell, keep it very quick. What brought you down here?
The missus, the wife, she told me, she booked it and said be at Stratford at 7:30 on Thursday, and I was late, so I'm in trouble. Okay. But she books it, she organises these things, and we just turn up, and it's leave it up to her. She makes brilliant choices.
Just a very quick question for you. The film is called Dear White People. Obviously, it sounds very interesting from there. Anybody watched it before? First time screening? Okay, first time. It's called Dear White People. I'm going to pass the mic round to each one of you. If you was able to finish the rest of the letter, yeah, so we start off Dear White People, what would be your message? So if it was Dear White People, what would be your message?
Maybe you need to come and see this film.
Support our efforts in filmmaking as we support yours.
Welcome to the UK's #1 conscious platform, UK TV. I'm doing with event, and with me I have an esteemed elder of our community, goes by the name of Natty Linden, and anybody who knows Natty Linden, he's an author. Not only is he an author, he's a community leader, community activist, and a great worker with young people. Great to see you here at the Dear White People premiere.
Yes, where are they? They should be here.
You reckon they should be here?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes. You know, because it's a platform for comments, it's a platform for learning, it's a platform for a bit of hilarity. And as they're being involved, even in just mere words, I think it's only fair that they should turn up.
We'll see if we can find a few for you. Tell me something, have you seen the trailer?
Oh yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
What did you think?
I have thought so much about the trailer that I invited my dear wife, whose Earth Strong is today.
Wow. Okay.
One of my sons, whose Earth Strong is in 6 days.
Okay.
And my younger brother.
So it's a family affair today?
It's a family affair, dear white people.
So look, we grabbed the right interview.
It's a family affair, dear white people. And for I and I, as a man who's a black man, our values and beliefs might differ very much. Our cultures might be very, very much. So it is really a challenge for, you know, learning from both the white side of the fence and the black side of the fence.
And that can only really bring cohesion and more harmony into the world.
Well, at least we'll be able, if we're sitting right in the middle of those two monochrome extremities, we ought to see not just the yin and the yang, but the grey matter in between.
And that's very, very important indeed, I'm telling you.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. We are getting ready to go and watch Dear White People, the premiere showing down here in Stratford, East London. With me at the present time, I have a great woman, a great lady, goes by the name of Charmaine Simpson of Black History Studies, who often puts on film events herself, as well as some other great community gatherings and events in and around the UK. Charmaine is here with me. Have you seen the trailer of Dear White People?
Yeah, I've seen the trailer, yeah. And I'm looking forward to watching the film as well and supporting the New Black Film Collective, which I'm a member of as well. And it's good to see everybody coming out and supporting this film today, so I'm quite happy.
It's beautiful, right?
Yeah, oh yes.
Don't take this, you know, I've been asking everybody, I've been grabbing this question. The fact that the movie's called Dear White People, yeah, one of the things that was interesting for us at GKTV to ask people who are going to view it and afterwards, if you had something to say to Dear White People, what would you say?
I'm not concerned with what white people think about us. I'm concerned more about what black people think about themselves. So that's the angle I'm coming from. So I want to be looking at what black people think of themselves and what they can do for themselves, for their empowerment and for their creating their next black future. So whatever white people think about us, that's cool. They just need to we just need to organize, come together, unite, put all the differences aside and basically come together and start get working. So
I hear you loud and clear.
Like what Got Kush TV is doing as well, so people coming together and working and trying to get our representation change and getting the positive about our black contribution in this country out there in the mainstream. So that's what I'm all about.
Okay, we're going to go upstairs to go and see the queue of Dear White People. We're going to see how much people, see if we can catch anybody in the queue before they go. The film's called Dear White People. If you were able to add something to the end of that, what would you say?
Cut the bullshit. Sorry, I don't know.
Hey, that works. That works. Right. We've had very, very similar comments. Okay, thank you very much for your time, and I hope you enjoy the film. Okay, let's see. We've got a nice long queue here. Okay, let's see if we can get some people in the queue. Camera shy? No? So would you like to ask? Camera shy? Okay. The film's called Dear White People. What brings you out tonight to come and watch this film?
I've read a lot of good reviews about it. Saw a trailer, it looked good, and I thought, you know, why not come and see it? And also, it's a socially conscious film, and it's comedic as well.
Okay, let's go further down. This queue is long, so obviously people have been waiting for a long time to come and see this film. Hello. Now, you know, you just mouth something to me, that means you want to speak on the camera. Yes, it's a long queue. So while we're going up the queue, while you're waiting to go and join the end of the queue, because you know you're going to be right at the end.
No, okay. My friend's halfway there, so it's all right.
So you're putting them moves. You just slip into the crowd as and when. Okay, excellent. What are you expecting from this film? What brought you down here today?
I need to laugh this week, so I'm expecting a big laugh.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah. So you're expecting a big laugh from the film. And what do you think in regards to social messages in the film? Do you think there'll be anything strong or?
I hope there are, and I hope they resonate well. I'd like to see obviously how it's been executed as well. So,
okay. And just very quickly, if you was penning the letter Dear White People, what would be the next few words?
I Welcome to my world. I don't know.
No, that's great. Listen, I hope you enjoy the film.
We are grabbing people quickly just before they go in and see this movie. We have Bevis with us, a great community leader, some of the unsung heroes here in the Stratford Picture House, eager to see Dear White People and see exactly what is going to unfold in front of us. How are you doing this here evening, Bevis?
I'm very good indeed, sir.
It looks like a great turnout.
It's an excellent, superb turnout, actually. Very good indeed.
And the movie itself, have you seen the trailer?
I've seen the trailer, but I'm here to support. I'm here actually to work today.
And you're working as?
I'm working as part of the TNBFC because I'm part of the TNBFC Luton.
TNBFC?
The New Black Film Collective.
New Black Film Collective. And what is the aims of the New Black Film?
The New Black Film Collective is to network all the different local black cinema groups across the whole of the UK, featuring organisations in London, Bristol, Birmingham, Luton, Brighton, Sheffield, and a few other places to mention.
Wow, and do they have a website?
Yes, they do. It's tnbfc.co.uk.
Now, the movie to some people could be quite controversial, of course, because of the title and because it's tackling what many people would call difficult issues. Yeah. How do you feel about how it's been presented to us today, Dear White People?
It's a bit of a comical platform, but it's still issues that faces a lot of people every day. It becomes a bit of a taboo thing in our to the rest of the world. For us, it's live and it's real, but we don't actually talk about it in the general public. So it's very good to have these things spoken about in the general public for people to actually realise what we go through on a day-to-day basis.
And when you're talking about what we go through, the experiences we go through of racism, discrimination, etc., etc.
Yes, I mean, the micro expressions, the micro activities. There's a gentleman called Akala who explains some of these activities in terms of the craziness that exists in this world, and we accept it as normal. But when we actually give it a voice and articulate it in a particular way, we actually bring reality to the problems that we suffer. Not just talking about it in our community where it seems a little bit weird to the rest of the world, but when we bring it out to the rest of the world can actually begin to understand, because often they think that we have a chip on our shoulder when we mention these things, because they have no concept as to how it affects us on a day-to-day basis, how it affects our psyche, how it affects how we feel about ourselves, and so forth. So this is actually a good thing for our community to talk about the things that really do, impact our daily lives.
Stratford Picture House in East London. Let's go in and see the movie Dear White People.
I'd be a winner, coming home from work just to type Jerry's bring up. My mother always told me to look at the bigger picture. Go figure, everything I own passed down from my sister. These times wish that I could.
I published a book, and I don't care whether you buy my books or not. Most of you know me. I just do what I do because I believe that's what my ancestors and the divine chose me to do. But I wrote a book called Whiteness Made Simpler. When I was researching that book in 2001, 2002, I was actually going to write an academic book because that's what I am. I got my PhD, I busted my brain to get that. But when I was actually researching the book, I thought, no, I don't really want to compound what's out there. So I wrote a book that is reflective, and many people will read it and they will see themselves in it. And the reason why I'm saying this is because I just came back from the States. We just did a tour with our students, because I teach criminology at the moment. Yeah. And I will tell you something. There is a difference between an African American and an African in America. They are quite different. And I think you need to understand that difference. An African American is generally no different from a white American. Their mentalities are the same. I'll give you an example. When I was in the States the other day, we were in Washington, we were in Texas, and we were in Orlando. And on all the major TV channels, there was not one European channel. No BBC World, no France 24, no Al Jazeera, nothing. Do you know why that is? It's because they are so parochial in America and so myopic, which is short-sighted. They actually do believe the world is them, and it revolves around them. Which is why I've always had a major problem with so-called Afrocentricity. Because if you really want to know where the knowledge base is that will heal this planet, it's here. You know why? Because we are a crucible for exchange in the UK. The UK is one of the few places where you will meet brothers and sisters from all corners of this planet as members of the human family. I did a talk in Howard, 2006, so-called major Negro college, or whatever the hell you want to call it. I was the first Caribbean person those students had spoken to, ever. We need to be very careful about what we embrace from the States based on what we've got here to offer the world. That's all I've got to say.
The thing is that I thought a lot of people would have known about this film was from the beginning a comedy, and it had rave reviews in the States, and it had this guy who was in Chris Rock, everybody hates Chris, for such a long time that we know that it's a comedy, he's a comic actor. But I think what's interesting about this film, it's about America. I think you're right, Dr. Henry, when you say that it's about America. And I think one of the problems we have in the UK, and I'm of Nigerian descent, in the UK and places like Nigeria, is that we don't produce as much of our own content as we need. I know, as much as that has as much of a global impact. So you might come here and expect this film to reflect your social realities, but actually, if you went to the States, it's actually true that a lot of upper class, fair-skinned, white, black men might not go for the dark-skinned girl. And I actually thought it was a quite empowering message to see that woman at the end of the film tell him, yeah, you know, fuck you, do you actually believe in yourself? You know, and I also thought that the identity stuff was handled very interestingly in the film. You have the 3 different types of black men, actually. Reggie, the black nationalist, the upper-class guy, the young, gay, black man who's exploring his own identity but not confronting it, and actually uses what's perceived as his weakness and kisses a white man and defeats him, sends him to jail. So I think that actually we should get beyond some of our readings of the stereotypes, because I think the film was criticizing some of those stereotypes and not necessarily enforcing them.
Somebody mentioned that we don't come out and congregate in numbers. We do. Yeah? We don't have content, British-made content in this country. We do. It's just that we pick and choose what we're going to support. Yeah? I've just been on a ICO cultural cinema course, and I'm only the person of culture on this course. If we're not in positions where we can represent ourselves and getting our stories told, if we're not writing stories, writing scripts, screenwriting, putting these stories to the people that we need to get in crowdfunding, putting our films out there, how are we supposed to get our story told? There are many crowdfunding schemes out here of black directors trying to get their films made, but we pick and choose not to go. But we need to actively support the homegrown talent that we have in this country. Yeah, or our story is not going to be told. We have people that are teaching, talking about race relations and how it links to this country. We know that if Dr. Umar Johnson comes here, we can fill this room 20 times over. But you have people in this country saying the same thing from a black British perspective, if you want to use that term, but we pick and choose not to go. But we have to change that. And the only people that's going to change that is us, basically. We have our, we have Dr. Les. Dr. Les does a lot of work in the community. He's written books. We have courses looking at race and representation in the media. But people pick and choose whether they want to come. But if we want to change that rhetoric and have our story told from our perspective in this country, let's get together. Join the New Black Film Collective. Come and feedback to us. You've got Black History Studies here, you've got Adala, you've got Nubion, you've got the young sister here. She's also doing work in the community. Come and speak to us and tell us what would you like, and come and support us. If there's no support behind a lot of these things, how can we put these on? And I was having a debate with somebody recently on Facebook talking about, oh, £13 for the ticket. And I'm saying to myself, how much does it cost to purchase the theatrical rights for this film? How much does it cost to hire out the cinema? Yeah, people complain when we use like a little community base with our little projector. Oh well, why is it not comfortable and all that? No. We have to start somewhere, because what happens is if we don't do it, nobody else is going to do it. But then we sit and complain. Oh, we don't have this. There's too much slavery movies on the TV. No. If you don't like that rhetoric, we have to create that ourselves, and that's what we're trying to do with the New Black Film Collective. Actively support, work as a collective, in order for us to put on films. Maybe you don't want this film. Maybe it'd be another film that we should get. But we need that feedback from you, and also the support, support everybody, not just the US films, also the UK films. There's another film coming up called Second Coming that the BFI is doing. We put on film screenings regularly as well. Like I said, in order for us to change the rhetoric and change the story and get the different narratives out there and have debates about race relations from a black British perspective, use that word again, we need to support our homegrown talents. That's why I'm glad that Dr. Les came here today to give his perspective, because I believe that he should get more recognition for the work that he does. Big time.
Okay, we're gonna catch this. We're gonna catch this young man as he's just come out of the cinema. We're gonna find out a little bit about. We just watched Dear White People.
Yeah.
Okay. How did you find the movie?
Well, as I said in the feedback, the question and answer, I was very much on the side of Dr. Les Henry, the way I view it. It was a good, well-made film. I mean, I looked at all the concepts and stuff like that. But the message is where I don't agree with the film. I find that America, as much as they say they are the biggest thing on earth and everybody else should follow them and follow the American dream and all this, I think that was an American nightmare. I think I find it easy to understand what made the film writer write in that particular fashion, because he wants to step up towards a platform. And that is the kind of thing that will get him there. So kudos to him for utilizing his brain. In regards to being a stereotype, well, I think we're all stereotypes, whether we want to believe that or not. But I am an author, and my book is about stereotypes. But for me, it's the message. The message in the film, the central message, was a whole discombobulation of media tripe and media hype. Because first of all, racism is quite separate. It's a different virus to segregation, which is what to me the film was all about. And then homophobia. I've never agreed with the media to put it all in with this racism thing.
So isn't that very much like over here when you get, blacks, gays, lesbians, that same type of mentality? Do you think that is what was kind of thrown into that movie, which is like a big stereotype?
I know. I felt it. I was into the storyline quickly because, I only write with imagination too, just like the film writer does. Only I use words to paint. There's nothing wrong in what he's done as a film writer, because critics are what it's all about, and critique. But if he's honest enough to take feedback like from Dr. Les Henry and myself, in particular, who object to having racism, segregation, homophobia, all boiled into the one, it's separate virus. Separate viruses. We need separate inoculations. Racism is a very sad psychopathic disorder.
We've got a young brother named Lyndon who's just come out of cinema, of watching the film, and we're going to try and get a little bit of feedback from him. But before we do, you can start off telling me a little bit about your background.
Okay, I'm basically an author as well, and I'm a filmmaker. I'm currently at Regent's University studying film, writing for film and stage. Before that I was in the music. I was doing music, and I still do music, so I work a lot doing videos and like helping develop new artists and stuff like that. But now I'm sort of taking my own career into the writing path, so published 2 books and I'm ready to start doing the film work now.
Okay, well we've just come out watching Dear White People, so let's speak about the film. How did you find the film?
Do you know what? It was a bit stereotypical and cliched, but I think that was the aim. It was to be blatantly stereotypical and cliched. It reminded me a bit of a Spike Lee School Days kind of flick, where the light skins were battling the dark skinned people. So in this sense it was a parody of the white people challenging the black people in the sense of taking the mickey out of them, do you know what I'm saying? And I liked it, I liked parts of it, and it was quite a complex, there was complex issues in there that needed to be explored. And I found it interesting that they actually put it in as a comedy film, because I was thinking to myself, if they had put this as like a serious movie exploring the same subjects, would it be as appealing? that was my first initial thoughts. So, yeah.
So do you think there could be a Dear White People 2 exploring, taking the different characters any further?
Not really. To be honest with you, I think this is one of them films, it's a one and done, but it gets the message out there that it wants to get out there, which is the fact that, one, that I think that black people themselves are a parody of themselves, and two, there's a lot of white people, yes, that want to be like black people. We know that in England here, or in London I should say, whether you're Asian, black, white, everyone talks the same, everyone acts the same. If you're from certain demographic of areas, you know, I'm from Tottenham, Turkish man talk like I talk and act like I act, so in a way it's kind of like everyone's branding themselves based on what we are. What I'm more interested in is the younger generation to realise that and understand that maybe some of the ways that they're, how can I say, showcasing themselves is becoming a parody, and to me that's the important message that we need to get across, and I think the film does it quite well, to be honest with you.
You've just watched the film, okay, how did you find it?
I thought it was really good. I've been waiting to watch it. Yeah, we've been waiting for a long time to watch it. Okay. Yeah.
How about the social commentary? A lot of the message was portrayed in there. What do you think about that aspect of it? Is there anything that you picked up, or any messages that you picked up within the film?
Yeah, it talks a lot about cultural appropriation, and also touched on issues that a lot of white people think that like racism doesn't really exist anymore, that we don't have really anything to complain about. So it was really interesting to kind of see that. Yeah.
What about the frat party at the end? Did you know that was actually based on a true story, the actual story? But did you see that towards the end of the film? Did you see that part of it?
News articles.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you believe these things actually do go on? Even though that's a movie, do you actually? What about in the UK?
Ooh, UK, no. I wouldn't really think it would happen in the UK. I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't. When I think of issues, I feel like it's more like not like a US issue, but yeah, more of those things happen in America as opposed to over here.
Okay. Do you think in the UK it's a lot more subtle in regards?
Yes, like there's covert racism. Yeah, there's a lot more of that.
So do you think we could do a UK version of Dear White People? How do you think that would pan out?
I don't know if it would work, to be quite honest. I don't know. It wouldn't be on the same scale as that, because our issues are different. So yeah, I don't know.
We've got another person who's just come and watched the film Dear White People, which, as you can see, sold out. If you can give me a little bit of feedback in regards to how you found the film.
I'd watched the trailer before, but I was slightly disappointed because I didn't think that the film explored the issues in as much depth as I thought. But I was really pleased actually with the debate that followed. I think it turned out to be a conversation starter, and really kind of initiated a lot of debate.
There was a lot of different issues brought up throughout the film by way of the different characters. Do you think it was maybe an amalgamation of too much stuff up in one film, or did it kind of flow neatly? How did you find it?
Yeah, it's a good question. Perhaps that's the problem. I think it tackled and it dealt with so many stereotypes that there was just no room to have any substance and deal with anything in any real depth. That was my problem. You know, I've watched other, you know, quote unquote black films, and so I'm familiar with the stereotypes, and in a way I'm a little bit exhausted with them. So I think for me that was the frustration, basically seeing these stereotypes being regurgitated for 90 minutes. I felt that it was slightly so in that regard I was disappointed. But I think when you look a bit deeper, there are positive aspects of the film as well.
Do you think it was necessary to add the homosexual element also? Some people we've spoken to this evening have said, you know, it's something which goes on in the black community and it's kind of shoved under the carpet. To others have said, well, totally unnecessary, you know, it had more than enough content within the film to actually go down that road. How did you feel about that?
I think it was very brave of the directors to include that, and particularly in the States, because there have been lots of suicides, lots of children have been bullied because of their sexuality, and it's a topical discussion. So wherever you fall on whichever side, I think it's good that they raised it and they dealt with it. It makes people uncomfortable, but perhaps that's what it's there for.
It's been a great evening. Do remember, it's the New Black Film Collective. They are the people responsible for putting this event on. But you know, Got Kush TV, that's what we do. We cover these type of events. We'd like to thank everybody who's watching the show, and you know, check us out next time. Look out for the rest of the Got Kush TV program and what goes on. And I'd like to say a big shout out to all the Got Kush TV program. If you ain't got Kush, you ain't got nothing. Shakara said so. Okay, it's the Minister. I'm out of here. Namaste.